Yo, what's up? After the sudden but welcome big update release yesterday, we get new news today, and a few of those, mostly good ones even, yes, I know, strange for Gaijin. First of all, the new Battle Pass, which as usual comes with 2 vehicle skins, 2 special soldiers, and 1 new weapon that you receive 4 times if you buy the Elite Battle Pass. Is it worth buying it? Yes, because you always get more gold back than you put in. So this is literally free gold, so I recommend everyone who can just buy it. It's absolutely worth it. Especially since if you buy it once, it always pays for itself for the rest of your life. So this is a good thing. Now, how good are the items themselves? Now, of course, you get all of those random prices here, which are quite nice. It's a couple 10,000 silver, and it's upgrade orders, especially for vehicles, which themselves can be worth multiple like 10 to 20,000 silver each. Good. Also some node change orders, which are extremely good and rare if you want to change. For example, you get a new premium squad or event squad, and you want to change the preset additional backpack to secondary weapon. This is how you do it with those node change orders. Keep in mind they're quite rare, so you better be economical with them. So this is quite good. Regarding the specific stuff, we get a T50 skin, though this is the first fail, because A, it looks ugly as fuck, and B, this tank isn't even that good. It would be a good to very good BR1 tank, but it's just an okay BR2 tank, and literally no one plays it, because the T28 is just much better. And also in this, in the past, you could obtain this beauty from the Battle Pass, under the old Battle Pass system, and this is one of the coolest looking tanks I would say in low BR. Very nice, very fitting for the snowy Eastern Front early war maps. Yeah, also, also cool unique effect with this net pattern. So yeah, this is how the skins should look in the Battle Pass, and not the way they actually do right now. So yeah, so this is the first fail. The second vehicle you get, actually a vehicle this time, not just a skin, is the Corsair. And what's so good about it is, well, it's just overall a strong plane. It's a fighter plane with overall good characteristics. With it can shred targets very well. It has 20 millimeters, not the usual HMGs that American planes have, and it has 8 HVARs. So this is ridiculously good against infantry ground targets and against planes. But there are 2 downsides you have to know. First, it's carrier based, so playing in the Pacific is gonna fuck you hard, because you're gonna wait 30 seconds at the beginning of the game, which you absolutely cannot afford, because especially right now with the fast jets, waiting on the carrier is even more retarded than it was before. So Gaijin should have removed that system by letting planes start in the air and just having the carrier as an option on the map if you want to repair your plane. But nope. This wasn't done, so now you have a plane that gets nerfed hard, and also it directly competes with the American jet that you get in the tech tree. And if you look at this comparison, it becomes completely, obsolete, because this plane is great against infantry, but weak against tanks, because after multiple nerfs on these HVARs, you need to land a perfect hit on a tank to actually penetrate and blow up the tank. And in BR5, most of the time you'll play against King Tigers, they also require specific spots to be hit with the HVARs. You can't just randomly hit it somewhere. So, yep, it's not even reliable. It's slow and not reliable, and compared to the Meteor, if you look at the stats, it's completely unplayable. Like 2 heavy bombs are better than 8 HVARs, and this one also has 20 millimeters. A little bit less ammunition, but still, also it has insanely ridiculous fly characteristics. So yeah, there's no reason to play the Corsair anymore. Absolutely no reason. So in this context, the Battle Pass so far sucks. Now let's see, are the soldiers making it better? First, you get Italian Assaulter 3 with max stats, which is important because the previous Battle Pass soldiers didn't come with max stats, which is bad because everyone who had them from the last year still has those bad unplayable soldiers. Now, first problem. Second problem, it's Assaulter 3. The game offers you Assaulter Force, Why should anyone who unlocked Assaulter 4 play an Assaulter 3? There's no reason at all. So why didn't Gaijin just make it Assaulter 4? This is just completely bad game design, also just stupid product design. Why do you make something extra bad? Yes, some shills would say, oh yeah, but this is good for new players who just have Assaulter 3s. Yeah, by that logic, make everything as low tier as possible. Yeah, but like, this is just stupid. Like, give people stuff as good as it gets. Also, the higher tier the soldier, the more expensive it is. But, well, guess what? If you get a maximum tier soldier for free, it's actually good value. So this is about getting high value for the players, and this is just lower value than it should be. So this is not good, but actually one good soldier you get is the Japanese Rifleman 3, because literally Rifleman 3 is the highest you can get. Ironically enough, Rifleman 2 are an exception because they come with one of the best perks. They come with faster running, which is, depending on what you want to do, better or roughly as good as a Rifleman 3, which comes with a worse perk, much worse perk, but with overall higher stats. Yeah, in this case, if Gaijin wanted to be stingy, they could just give you a Rifleman 2 and then an Assaulter 4, which is literally what some smart people would have done, but no, they did it as backwards. So everyone is fucked. You see, this is why you don't let incompetent people do design of products, because then something like this happens. Though, don't despair, there's one good thing in this battle pass, and it's this weapon. It's the Solothurn S18-100. It's a anti-tank rifle used by Germans, which is, once it comes out, the only really good German anti-tank rifle, because the other two anti-tank rifles are manual loaded, meaning they are slow as hell and they have low damage and low penetration, so they're literally unplayable. This thing, on the other hand, will be partially playable because it has a 10-round semi-auto rifle, semi-auto magazine, so it can actually fire fast. Only problem is you need to either mount it, like bipod it, or you need to be prone, otherwise you can't fire it. Personally, I like this because this is biologically and physically realistic, because you literally cannot shoot these things otherwise. You theoretically, if you can actually hold it in your hands while standing, which would be quite hard because it weighs 20 kilograms, one shot of this thing would literally break your shoulder, no matter how strong you are. So yeah, it's absolutely realistic, also immersive, if you have to use it in this limited way. But since this is the only weapon in the game basically that forces you to use these limitations, it should come with, well, very high power as compensation, right? That's what one would assume. Problem is, so far it doesn't come. It needs significant buffs. Why? Because this BR2 rifle, just look at the stats, damages 230, which sounds great if you shoot at soldiers, but not that great if you shoot at tanks and expect some explosion effect. Well, the damage reduction doesn't matter because it will always do something, but here comes the problem. Armor penetration 55. This one doesn't matter obviously because you don't shoot at tanks close up, and if you do, well, it's easy. But the 100-meter distance number matters. 45mm penetration won't kill you anything. Like, this is too low of a number. This number needs to be 55 and this needs to be 60 or 65 to be reasonable. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. Now, the main number for anti-tank rifle is the penetration value. And just remember, 45 penetration at 100 meters. If you want to see whether it's good or bad, compare it to the Japanese BR1, lowest BR anti-tank rifle. And this one comes with, a bit less penetration, but BR1. Meaning this one can actually shred all the BR1 tanks, and if it gets up-tiered against BR2, it can also do some work. The German Battle Pass weapon, on the other hand, if it plays on BR2, already struggles hard against most tanks, and if you get up-tiered against BR3, it becomes completely useless. So yeah, like, and the Japanese rifle doesn't have the limitations. Logically speaking, it should, because it was literally carried by 2 soldiers. It also had metal parts to be able to be easily carried by 2 soldiers and held by 2 soldiers. So the other one also should have the limitations. It doesn't though. This weapon, well, has the limitations, but not significantly improved power. So here's once again the weekly appeal to Gaijin: just get proper power levels. Instead of buffing one of the best weapons in the game, the Fedorov, the Fedorov assault rifle, just buff the weapons that are actually underpowered. Especially the weapons you're trying to sell, like this weapon in the Battle Pass. This needs a significant buff in penetration, then it can be a fun weapon. Also, the mechanic of adding significant nerfs to a weapon, but giving them high buffs, or like significant buffs in return in other regards. I talked about it last year, which is like, this is one of the best ways to create premium content, not by just making stuff stronger overall, but min-maxing it, to making it interesting and different, but not straight up better than the free tech tree stuff. So this is theoretically perfect design, but some dumb fuck just literally fucked up the numbers, and I would be patient, but I'm literally not patient anymore because I see this stupidity constantly in the game. Like, everyone was complaining about the Battle Pass balance and the way the jets are imbalanced, the way that many other things are just like Fedorov buff is the best example. Why would you buff one of the best stuffs in the game? And why would you nerf other things or keep other things unbuffed that definitely need buffs? So yeah, this is just not that good, but okay. Then for the next months we can expect, hopefully without delay, Winchester shotgun for the Americans. It's a very cool 19th century shotgun design here, and it's allegedly, well, it has 5 shells, shoots very fast, should reload very fast due to the lever action system. I expect it to be really good and fun. I also hope it has the Winchester sights. If it does, it would be quite okay, though only if these are better Winchester sights than the normal Winchester rifle for the Soviets, because those have, I would assume on purpose, a nerfed iron sights, because they're not perfectly centered. They're slightly tilted, meaning you can't quickly aim with it, which is bad. Yeah, so yeah, but this is in theory a good weapon. Let's hope it doesn't get fucked up. And then later, 1 month after that, you get the Coco rifle. Coco is stands for Kovrov Collective. Yeah, the vowels in Russian are hard to pronounce, because they can be very different depending on the context. Well, this is a semi-auto rifle which is going to be competing with the recently added Soviet semi-auto rifle, the Fedorov rifle. So here's the question: why would you give a nation that literally just received a similar rifle the same type of rifle? Like, why? It is just not smart. Like, why? You just give other nations something. Give the Germans a good semi-auto rifle, because they are suffering with this unplayable Amagvera that can't hit anything, even on short range. It looks theoretically good with a big magazine size, but it literally doesn't hit anything. So yeah, the Germans would need it more. Alright, so this is the Battle Pass so far. Now, another thing. People told me I didn't mention the new camos for tanks. Now let's take a look at the new camos for tanks. First of all, what about camos for planes? Well, ain't no camos for planes, because you literally cannot customize your planes with camos, only with decals. You can't just change the overall painting. Same thing goes for APCs. You can't change the way your APC looks, which is, well, not that good. Yeah, you literally can't customize it, which is, yeah, why? Like, APCs are like tanks, basically. Now, for the tanks, though, if you go on customization, by the way, first of all, for those who don't know, new players, use X-ray to learn where stuff is, so you know if you're shooting from the side, should I shoot here or here? Or if I shoot at a turret, should I shoot here or here? If you shoot here, you just take out one soldier. If you shoot here, you explode the whole tank, because here you hit a shell, which instantly kills the tank. And if you shoot here, you kill the breach, which is good. The tank can't shoot anymore for like 6 to 7 seconds. But it's still better to just one-shot the tank. Yeah. So yeah, if you shoot here, you hit the fuel tank, which could explode the tank. Most often, though, it will just ignite a fire. But shooting once again here is just the better way, because here you actually blow it up. Yeah, so learning this, using this on all your enemy tanks is very, very good research. It's going to make you much better. And also armor. Here you can see how much effective armor and actual armor you have everywhere. So you know where it's actually, where you can expect some penetration. But here's the customization. You can go to camouflage. And here are your choices. Now here's the problem. And this is why I don't use camouflages on tanks. I only bought a couple of bushes once, but, well, here's the problem. You can buy these camouflages, and they're arguably not even that expensive. So that's cool. But here's the problem. You can only use them on one tank. Like if I would get this one, I could choose which tank I use it on. If I put it on this tank, I can't put it on any other tank. Same thing with these bushes. I bought 2 bushes. I use one bush here, one bush I use on the other King Tiger, but now I can't use any bushes anymore on any other tank in the game. So this is the problem. Everything you buy, you can only use once. Now this is extremely annoying and well, ensures that players don't want to buy those things. What would be much better is make it more expensive. You can double the price, but make it universally usable. So if someone buys this camo, he can use it everywhere. If someone buys a bush, he can use him everywhere. Yeah. So this is the biggest problem with customization in Enlisted. You don't have choices, and the system is just stupidly implemented. It's just completely retarded. And same problem with soldiers. Yeah, you can go here, you can buy him some cool stuff. Problem is, most often you don't even get matching stuff. I can get matching, well, I can get a matching uniform for the legs and for the main body, but I can't even get a matching helmet. You see, this is there's not a single helmet. This is yellow, this is green, this is swampy, and this is yeah. You see, you don't get matching uniforms. What the fuck? Like, who decided that you shouldn't get a matching helmet? And these helmets don't even match the, like this helmet, for example. Try to find a code that matches this helmet. There's no in the game. So this helmet literally has no logic to be in the game. This helmet should be perfectly fitting this, matching this color. You see, so the customization just fucked up currently Enlisted. And the worst thing is, and many people also demanded that, if you buy yourself a premium squad, first of all, once again, matching problem. The squad came, I think it came even with this uniform, I'm not sure. But I had to buy a matching helmet. Cool, you can find one. But you can't find matching pants. So you can see these pants don't properly match. Yep, this is just annoying. This is just annoying. So, yeah, the customization needs strong improvements for Enlisted to properly work. Until then, it's just a disappointment. Now, last 2 things is that... by the way, one actually useful customization here I got for the King Tiger crew. I got them this uniform because despite not being too cool, not too perfect, it still is better than the boring gray they had before. Now, regarding... also, you can't get any... Yeah, you can't get any... Well, look at this uniform. They have no insignia. They have the standard Wehrmacht stripes here on the collar, but they don't have any rank insignia. This literally looks like the uniform of a prisoner of war. Because if you become prisoner of war, you have to remove all insignias on everything, and you literally look like a recruit on his first day. Unless for some rare reasons, if you're a high officer or general, you can usually keep your general shoulder pads, but otherwise you just remove everything. And this is exactly what it looks like. These are not soldiers, these are prisoners of war. Not a single one of them has proper insignia. Look at this, and this is true for all nations. Look at this, where are the insignia? were the division icons for the Americans especially, and for the Soviets. Well, of course, there's a little exception. You can get your NKVD stuff, because why not, apparently? But you have to censor everything else. Now, for the Soviets, you get these cool coats. I like those coats a lot. Really like them. This is cool. The helmets, the heads look cool, but you still get no insignia. I even try to trick the system, because you can get something like a quasi insignia. Like, yeah, this looks cool with the white coat, but not really. Yeah, where are the insignia? Okay, I guess that's the wrong squad. I actually managed to get something like that with an engineer squad once, because if you have your engineers here, you can buy them. Alright, I guess it's in Moscow. Where is it? I hope Gaijin didn't remove it, because they actually even removed some things regarding this. Okay, you see the colors. Yeah, they used to have something. They used to have one little thing there that looked remotely like a proper rank insignia, and I used to play them before the merge because they look cool, but I think they removed them, which would be a complete fail. Yep, I think they even removed them, because there used to be some little thing here, and now there's nothing there. There's nothing there. By the way, look at how many customization options you have for the Soviets and how few we had for the Germans. Oh my god, what was this? This was another fail. Yeah. Well, I'm afraid they even removed the one Soviet exception from like 2 years ago. Yep, I don't see it anymore. Well, bad for us, because yeah, that makes it even worse. Sadly. So yeah, customization listed sucks. It needs significant improvements. And this is what everyone's been saying since forever. And the best thing is about customization, you don't even need high quality software engineers for that, which Gaijin is short of general anyway. You can outsource most of it. So it's not even that expensive to produce. Yeah, the game needs significantly better customization. This is also why I haven't released a customization guide yet. I made a short, I think, 1 or 2 years ago, but no proper guide, because there's literally nothing to talk about, because the customization just sucks. Yeah, so that's bad. Another thing, if you remember, and I tried to find it in the changelog, but the changelog doesn't go far, doesn't go far enough. It was announced a couple months ago, and it was even mentioned a few weeks ago, that we will be able to pick maps. Map picking by choosing which maps you prefer and which maps you don't like. And this way you increase and decrease the chance for specific maps, and this way you can modify which maps you want to play. Even if this wouldn't be a 100% system, it would still be much better than what we have right now. But it got memory hole, because I literally didn't hear anything about it since the merge, and also not last week when the merge was talked. Also nothing in the test server. So yeah, this literally looks like Gaijin tries to memory hole the topic. Yeah. So yep, don't. I made a community post. Make sure you upvote, because they are literally dumbfuck shills in the forum, and especially Reddit, who downvote everything that their Gaijin dick sucking doesn't fall into congruence with. So yeah, this is the problem. Why illicit media, social media sucks. It's like it's not moderated properly. The moderators are biased in many situations, and the really good, important discussions oftentimes just are quickly disappeared. And this is why mostly don't even bother anymore. But yeah, this is something that's very important. And I especially want for myself, because if I want to stream in the next days again, and on a regular basis, very soon enough, I want to be able to pick my maps. Because there's nothing worse than to get buttfuck bad maps in the game. Because half of the maps suck, the other half is great. Now why should anyone bother playing the bad maps? Like, come on. Like, this is 2025. This is not the 90s anymore. You expect to be able to pick your maps that you play in online games. Yeah. I tried out Hell Let Loose. I can literally pick the maps I want to play. Like, I can pick whatever I want to play. Like, and if I pick the map I want to play, I'm gonna play it for like 1 hour or 2 hours. So, yep, why can't I do it in Enlisted? Like, what? This is just bad. Yeah, so, yeah, Enlisted needs to improve this, definitely. And last thing, also something that people mentioned I should address. We got some nice weapon downgrading of high quality rifles down to be a 3. Now, this didn't happen for Germany. They are still stuck with the weak ass Gewehr 41. The weak ass Gewehr 41, which I think was rarer than Gewehr 43 overall. Yeah, I think this one wasn't viewed as a good success, so especially regarding the production. But this one was perfectly mass producible, so yeah, you even had more Gewehr 43s than Gewehr 41s. And in-game though, you're stuck with the Gewehr 41 and BR3. And on paper it's a strong weapon, it has a bayonet, it has okay stats, everything's fine. But it barely hits the targets. Shot deviation is set to 28 here, but I'm afraid this is one of the instances where the game literally has wrong stats, because this is actually for not few items the case in Enlisted, which is why people usually, when they want to look deeply into something, use the data sheet for Enlisted, because there you very often will find that the weapon stats that are written there are different than here, and the weapon stats there are always right, and the ones here well, if there's a difference, they're wrong. Yeah, so this weapon just doesn't hit properly, which is why it's simply not that good. Also, in real life, it didn't have this ugly IKEA Kriegsmodel K98K color. It had actually nice, cool, dark brown color. Something like this, or like this. But it didn't have this ugly ass cheap color. But for some reason in the game it received this ugly color. It literally looked like this with the color and not with the other color. Yeah, so yeah, this is just not good. But the Japanese had their rifles just reduced, obviously not this one, but the Type 4 rifle is now a BR3 rifle, and this is potentially the best rifle overall now in BR3, because the stats look similar to the German one, but it doesn't have the missing, well, it doesn't have the projectile dysfunction, meaning your projectiles actually hit the target. And the sights are just very fun to play. Yeah, this weapon is ridiculously good. This weapon is just ridiculously good. I'm quite sure it's the best BR3 rifle. Ironically enough, the American Legendary Garand used to be the best BR3 rifle, though not anymore, because the Type 4 is just better. And the Johnson theoretically is also better than the Garand, because it's literally like a Garand, but with 10 bullets. It's literally just a Garand with 10 bullets, and it looks also quite cool with the red wood. Yeah, when I'm playing BR3 Burgers next time, I'm gonna definitely spend a lot of silver on these, because these are, well, we can test them now. We can test them now and see how well they perform. Now let's grab our Johnson with our hands. Alright. Okay, it reloads 2 5 clips, I guess. Alright, yep, I would say it's good. It's really good. And the recoil also feels smaller than with the Garand. Yep. It doesn't have the cool Garand sounds that are famous, but it's great. Now, yeah, like it wasn't mass produced, it also, as it says here, I guess it wasn't mass producible enough, it wasn't efficient enough to be mass produced, and I guess too expensive or whatever. So yeah, but in game you can play it now. Yeah, or you could just even play both if you want. Why not? But yeah, you can put some of these. You can put the Garand on some soldiers and the Johnson on other soldiers. Yeah, so quite cool. And well, that's basically it. Yeah, there's literally nothing else that's important. Yep, the Germans got schlonked really, really hard with this update. Not only did they not get proper weapon adjustments, yeah, like these random Berettas don't really change much. The ZK is still better than the fucking Beretta 40. Not only did they also not get the stack reductions that Gaijin needs to fucking do finally, but they also got one of the worst jets, like almost unplayable jet compared to the American, as I explained in the previous video yesterday. So yeah, yeah, this update needs some significant adjustments. Here's the thing, the update can be actually good if it gets properly improved now. But if no adjustments are made, which is what's going to happen if people don't talk about this in Reddit on a large front, then yeah, then the update will just be weak. Because Gaijin is lazy as fuck, and Gaijin tries to do as little as possible, and they literally only react to mass spamming on Reddit. This is the official guideline that was also posted by helpers. The only thing that helps is mass spamming. Quality doesn't work with Gaijin because they also don't work based on quality. They literally just do the bum rush strategy of working. So yeah, just if you want the good changes, just bum rush, spam the Reddit forum, and just spam your comments. Also just upvote the post I made, and upvote it not only on my channel but in Reddit. Yeah, so it gets a couple hundred upvotes, and then Gaijin moves their lazy Gopnik asses and gives us good stuff. Alright, that's it. Let me know what you think, and what you think should be done or improved. And of course, like the video and subscribe if you're new, and share, and prepare for some cool live streams, hopefully with some better adjusted stuff, so I can show you some cool things. I wouldn't love anything more than blowing up a bunch of super Pershings with this thing, or gooning the MG42, which I decided I will only play the MG42. I won't play the MG81 because for many reasons, but mostly flavor. This is like not a standard World War II weapon, but this is, so I'd rather just use the standard World War II weapon for historical accuracy and immersion. Though for the Garand, yeah, for the Garand it's hard. Yeah, but another last thing though, BR3, I rarely play a BR3 because I prefer BR2 due to the better maps and due to the slower games, which are just more fun. So BR3, I rarely played it. So my personal experience with the Garand isn't too high. So I'm not too much attached to the weapon. So I'm quite flexible with my choices regarding Garand and Johnson. But for the Soviet and German weapons, I know most weapons inside out. So there I usually go for historical accuracy. Alright, let me know what you think. And until soon, goodbye.